Yes, everyone settle down, please. Young lady at table 4, can you please put on your mask or leave? Yes, please, do not provoke the principal in me. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Mr. President, or as I like to call him, Dougie. Ladies and gentlemen of the Human Rights Committee of the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago, thank you for agreeing to meet with me and these esteemed members of the community of people living with disabilities. Now, before we get down to work, I want to say that disability is not a monolith, okay? In fact, the community is vast and the needs of different segments of the community may differ, while some needs are universal and some may be as similar as yours and mine. Yes. And while I'm aware that many people, including some of you in this room, see people as disabilities with, or as burdensome or as throwaways, I want to reiterate that it is not until you yourself acquire a disability or you have a child with a disability that you begin to understand the struggles that people face as they attempt to give themselves or their child a decent quality of life in this country. And, you know, you experience stumbling block after stumbling block, you know, in your attempt to give yourself or your child the best quality of life possible, okay? It is only then that you begin to realize the important role that legislative action plays in the lives of equitable access for all its citizens. Okay? Thank you. Now, we're talking about access, access to healthcare, education, physical access to buildings, transportation, housing, and so on, etc., etc. It's a lot. It's things that you and I, as typical people, may take for granted. Okay? So I urge you to listen closely to the members of the community who are here today. Listen closely to their suggestions and their challenges as you work with us on drafting foolproof legislation that we can take to the Office of the Attorney General to move the needle on equitable access for people living with disabilities in our country. Okay? And as my world-famous Auntie Hazel used to say, sunshine, typical or disabled, when a baby is born, all we see in front of us is a human life, and it behooves us to do right by that life. Thank you. Let's get to work. Thank you.
Is a fact, strictly facts, and is that.
During his first term, my husband would take him out of class for speech therapy. Towards the end of December, he said, you know, he's just sitting there staring at the wall in class. I said, I don't understand that because I have shared all the information I know about autism. I've been giving them the hints, the tips, how to treat with him, how to help him along, because the diagnosis we had was that it's really his expressive language that was an issue. At the end of the first term, there was the report that came back was recommended that he repeats first-year infants. And I said, who repeats first-year infants? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Nobody can repeat first-year infant. You're an infant. You don't keep people back at that age.
It's a different kind of mind. It is bubble different than yours and mine. It's a different
We have the meeting, and the very first thing that this principal says is that, yes, we think that he will have to repeat. We think that there's something wrong. So you can either repeat here or you can take him out and find another school. And then she said, as if to make me feel better, there's a school that's just down the road, and many of our teachers send their children there. And I was aghast and flabbergasted, because you are sitting there and you are telling me that you don't have the facilities and you clearly don't have the will to support your family of staff, that they cannot even find that network of support for their children in the school that you are running. Literally picked up Zachary, walked out the door, walked out to the car, called my sister-in-law and said, hey, the school where my nephew's going, can you talk to the director? Can we speak to her? She said, yeah, of course. Very next day, went, spoke to the director. She said, yes, bring Zachary in on this particular day. This was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right. Bring Zachary in tomorrow, Thursday. Leave him here for half a day. Let's see how he reacts. Let's see how he feels. So the director said that he is reading 2, maybe 3 years ahead of his age. And that's probably why he was just staring off at the walls, because he was bored out of his mind. She said, he's too young to be put into that class. So we're going to be putting him into standard 1. These are the books that you might need. You could just give us all of his other books and take it from there. And Zachary thrived in that school. He had friends. He was eager to go to school every day. He was happy when he came home. That school, Strategic Institute, was really a blessing for us. The teachers there and the director really, really care about the children. They are everything that I, as a daughter of teachers, want to see as a parent of any child, of any ability. People who are trying to figure out how to help the child maximize their potential, who are prepared to do whatever it takes to make sure that happens, and they are prepared to do whatever it takes to make sure that the family is taken care of. They are real partners in education. And I honestly wish I could clone them and just sprinkle them throughout the country for any children.
We have persons who present with receptive and expressive language skills that are within or above what is considered typical or normal. We also meet those with ASD who may be highly verbal but may not have the level of understanding or receptive language that matches their verbal output. Some of these individuals may use repetitive language or imitate what they hear regularly. Some persons who present with ASD may have mild, moderate, or severe delays in receptive language and expressive language skills. In this group, you may have children or adults who are nonverbal, but who will communicate through gestures or signs, and others who will use that AAC device to help them communicate. So what is my role in all of this? As an SLP, I play a key role in supporting children and adults who have been described to have ASD and their families. That role has a primary focus, which is to open the doors of social communication to these children, adults, and families. I do this through a process. I conduct an assessment or an evaluation, which includes a thorough and comprehensive family interview and observation of skills in what I hope to be a natural environment. I analyze the assessment data with assistance from the family and other team members to set treatment priorities if necessary. And then I begin evidence-based treatment that focuses on functional goals that strive to improve an individual's communication ability across conversation partners and conversation settings. Many well-trained SLPs or SLTs will use the International Classification of Functioning, Disability and Health, or ICF, to guide our decision-making during assessment, planning, and treatment. The ICF is a framework from the World Health Organization that promotes person-centered care and collaborative practice. Speaking of collaborative practice, as an SLP or SLT, I depend upon the expertise of many other professionals when I care for individuals who have been described to have ASD. These include audiologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, psychologists, social workers, nutritionists, and medical personnel.
Well, as we end the evening, I just want to say a few words again. You know, I always have a lot to say. I want to say, listen, Human Rights Association members, I just want to say thank you. Dougie, thank you for organizing this. I am truly, truly appreciative, you know, Mr. President. But at this juncture, I want to encourage you all. We're doing a little, like a moment in church where we have a little collection happening. There's one organization in particular I want to encourage you to donate to today before we leave this room. And even after you leave, I want you to go to their social media pages, look them up. They're called Cause and Effect. It's A-N, not A-N-D. Okay, let's get that clear. Cause and Effect. Cause and Effect. And you can go to their website, www.causeandeffect.co. They're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Look them up. Go. Take a look at the videos they have there that are educational in nature. Learn a little more about disability-related issues. And click on those like buttons, click on those share buttons, and then click on that WePay link to donate to the organization. You know, help us to continue. Well, help them to continue. I mean, I feel like I'm a part of the organization, but you know, it's there. So help us to continue our work as we attempt to create a kinder and more inclusive society. You know, to shift people's mindsets about disabilities. Yes. So, as my world famous auntie Hazel would say, you have to give a little if you want to change a lot. Okay? So until we meet again, I think it might be next month, please like, share, subscribe, and donate to Cause and Effect. And human rights people, I will see you. Thank you. Have a good evening. God bless. Mask up, wash your hands, and be safe.
It's a different kind of mind. It is but a little different than yours and mine. It's a different kind of mind. It's an old puzzle.